Hey guys. Okay, nothing is going right, but hi. This is a last minute thing, and I have been feeling like absolute crap, and I'm trying to shut this. I don't know this other window, but anyway, hi. So who's with me? Hello, hello, hello. So it's been one of those days. Okay, it's election day in the United States, and I you know I was out this morning and I go and read about this stuff. Hey, Chris, great for joining us. I'm sorry I had to go to bed early last night. I mean, I fell asleep. My husband came home and then I fell asleep. So, all right, make a long story short, I'm really hyper because everything happened all at once. I scheduled this thing and I forgot these guys were coming to deliver firewood. And I want to see, I guess, if this looks okay. And then we're going to start talking about this 11,000 scientists because it is scary. And all right, let's see. All right, I see it. Okay, it's working. Looks good. All right, I'm going to go first to an article. And I need to really calm down. Let me take a deep breath and welcome everybody. I didn't share this anywhere, nothing. I just wanted to come live because it's serious shit. And as I have been today, doing these things, trying to feel better. I mean, Alka-Seltzer, I've been like sick for days and I don't know what it is, whatever it is. They put me on some medicine. I think I can't take it. Oh, well, shit happens. So let me get the article up that I would like to read. It's a really quick one, and then we can talk about this quickly. Let me say hi to Kim and Natural Progressives here, and Warren's here, and make sure the color works. And oh, good, everything's cool. So, I what is it, Sandy? Look at figure S2. I'm so excited. Okay. Hi, Trevor, Andrew. Oh, Trevor's here from British Columbia. Very cool, very cool. All right, so I'm going to read the article that's up on Environmental Coffee House by Earther Gizmodo because it's a short one. Short and sweet, but it tells you. I've had MSNBC on in the background. I've had CNN on, and I've been waiting, but I can't stomach these channels for a very long time. But I've been waiting for this, to come on, and I haven't seen it. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to talk about it, and we'll share this out. And what are the ramifications? What are the ramifications? Well, we know what the ramifications are. It's the day of election in the United States. 11,000 scientists come out today with this proclamation. The moron in chief is pulling out of Paris, which, for what it's worth, Paris was something, even though there was nothing binding about it. It was something. And there's, shit going down everywhere. And all they want to talk about, and believe me, I know quid pro quo is serious. I know what happened in that administration is serious. I know they're a bunch of mobsters and crooks. We know that our country is turning into an authoritative country and that the sheeple will sit back and let it happen because people like to be guided when they're scared. Not our kind of people. But anyway, so Gizmodo, because I like the way they write. And let's get started because there's a lot to go over with this, and it is just, it's blowing me away. I kind of knew stuff was happening. I need a little light. Okay, I kind of knew things were happening, but here we go. So it's only Tuesday, but more than 11,000 scientists around the world have come together to declare a climate emergency. Their paper, published Tuesday in the journal BioScience, lays out the science behind this emergency and solutions for how we deal with it. Scientists aren't the first people to make this declaration. A tribal nation in the Canadian Yukon, the UK, parts of Australia, they've all come to the same grim conclusion. In the US, members of Congress have pushed the federal government to do the same. But we got Donald Trump. Ain't shit happening with this fool in the office. Anyway, this proclamation from scientists is significant because they're not doing it out of a political agenda or as an emotional outcry. They are declaring a climate emergency because the science supports it. Just happens to be on election day in the United States. The signatories, who come from 153 countries, note that societies have taken little action to prevent climate disaster, like we've been talking about. I've been talking about 3 years on Environmental Coffee House coming up, which is pretty much Environmental Coffee House has ruined my life and made my life better all at the same time. So it's been business as usual despite scientific consensus that burning fossil fuels and driving cars is gravely harming the environment. You know, the environment we all have to live in for the foreseeable future. Greenhouse gas emissions continue to enter the atmosphere, and if we don't stop quickly, we're doomed. 11,000 scientists. The scientists offer different indicators beyond global temperature that world leaders should monitor, such as population growth, meat consumption, energy consumption, and annual economic losses to extreme weather events. This can help us all track the progress we've made to address the climate crisis. Declining birth rates and an increase in renewable energy means things are getting better. A decrease in tree cover or growing livestock populations, however, signal the complete opposite. I was telling my husband today, we live in freaking opposite world. But there's time to act, they say, and these scientists are urging us to heed their call. While things are bad, all is not hopeless, says Thomas Newsom, a signatory and researcher at the University of Sydney, in a press release. We can take steps to address the climate emergency. These steps involve replacing fossil fuels with renewable energy, reducing pollutants that exacerbate warming, such as hydrofluorocarbons, restoring forests, switching to a mostly plant-based diet, stabilizing the global population, and transforming the economy. Our fuel-based economy has got to go if we're going to solve climate change. They say Green New Deal, anyone? The scientists write, and we'll talk about that afterwards because we all have our thoughts and, opinions and all on what's going on. I just picked this article because I liked it. Mitigating and adapting to climate change while honoring the diversity of humans entails major transformations in the ways our global society functions and interacts with natural ecosystems. We are encouraged by a recent surge of concern. Governmental bodies are making climate emergency declarations. School children are striking. Ecocide lawsuits are proceeding in the courts. Grassroots citizens movements are demanding change, and many countries, states, and provinces, cities, and businesses are responding. As an alliance of world scientists, we stand ready to assist decision makers in a just transition to a sustainable and equitable future. We urge widespread use of vital signs, which will better allow policymakers, the private sector, and the public to understand the magnitude of this crisis, track progress, and realign priorities for alleviating climate change. The good news is that such transformative change, with social and economic justice for all, promises far greater human well-being in the long run than does business as usual. We believe that prospects will be greatest if decision makers and all of humanity promptly respond to the warming and declaration of a climate emergency. Now, it's all over Twitter, and I will tell you that article, of course, at the end of the article, there's the same about everything, that we have to do. And they say it's not political, but around the world, how can it not be political when we have a Donald Trump and a Bolsonaro, and we have Xi Jinping in China and the Belt Road Initiative, and we have all the things that are happening that are pointing us in, we should be going one way, and we are definitely going another way. So I had to just come on and talk about this. And I'm going to just see a couple of the Twitter comments. I mean, it's all over, but of course my Twitter is, even the news on Twitter is like you have to look for it, okay? You have to look for 11,000 scientists. And I should have been more prepared, but like I said, at the last minute, all of the firewood was dropped off that we don't have enough for the year, so I actually had to get some from this dude, and I forgot that they were coming because it's going to get cold. You know what? I can't find my Twitter feed with all this stuff. I can't. You know, there's a lot of news. Oh, natural progressive. Eco anxiety is taking over my life. Nobody in this state cares. That's what makes it worse. And it's hard for me to believe. It's so sad that there's no activists. Um, God, I can't find what I want. That are in your state, Chris. It's just scientists warning today. Oh, I can't find it. You know, that's what happens when people come over and it's the last minute, you know. This is not, I am not finding what I want. So, anyway, what are you guys talking about? Um, oh, Angela wants to know where you are, Chris. And you guys continue talking in there, and I'm gonna find this information I wanted while you guys talk. 11,000 11,000 scientists. TIS warn. Okay. See, yeah, there's a climate emergency. Okay. Oh my God. It's just nothing's going to go right for me today because I'm live at the last minute. Well, I can't find it. I think I'm going to have to do it on my phone. So I'm going to look for, because it's much easier to do the Twitter on my phone. All right. So HuffPost had the article too. And pretty much people are all over Twitter with this. With this, it is scary, and the Washington Post is reporting on it, and HuffPost is reporting on it, and BBC News is reporting on it. And Dr. Nafiz Ahmed, he says this is a climate emergency. Declare 11,000 plus scientists from 153 companies. Climate change chain reactions could cause significant, disruptions to ecosystems, society, and economies, potentially making large areas of the earth uninhabitable. That was from an article from Oregon State. So it's on Twitter, but where in the frig is the mainstream media, these morons? I can't stand it. All they want to do is talk about Trump. And we know that Trump is disgusting and horrible. I hate the friggin' guy. But come on, you know, the scientists have been saying this forever. But today, I guess it's poignant in the United States because of pulling out of Paris. And I'm ambivalent on some of it, you know, because I don't know if anything will ever make a difference. But God damn it, the United States should be leading the way. We should be the beacon. We should have a torch in our hands. And the last gasp of class and action should be with the United States leading the way, and not leading the way in drilling 9 million acres of Tongass National Forest in Alaska, and not leading the way in raping our federal lands in Bears Ears in Utah. We're doing it. We're destroying the universe of the planet, our universe, because it's the only universe we know is our planet, right? So 11,000 scientists. What do you think, guys? What's going to happen? And yes, Carl, I'll get you up there. See? Okay. I promise. I don't know where you want me to read, what you want me to read. I can't. I'm so like, I can't. I can't. Let's just do this. And I'll say hi, Osama. And I know Greta's out there probably talking about this today. And I'm sure all the activists are. I'm sure they even knew about it. I mean, obviously, if it's published in a journal, it was planned for a while. Even if they say, like I said before, it's not political. You're goddamn right it's political because they've made it political. Hey, Torstein. Oh my God, I'm going to get back to you. I promise today. I know. I have things to do. I'm just trying to feel better and then not be, I'm very hyper, obviously, because I knew I wanted to get on here and I knew I wanted to hear what you guys have to say. The US is destroying the planet at a lightning fast rate. Well, we have a fucking moron that's our president that sits there and talks about we're going to guard the oil. Oh, we're going to get the oil. I am so disgusted. I'm so disgusted. Hi, Osama. And, you know, Valhalla, who you all know is on Chris's show on Monday nights, he talks about a forced solution, that no one is ever going to voluntarily stop business as usual. And we had this going back and forth about like, okay, North Korea, you look over North Korea with a satellite and you see it's dark, right? But my one question about that is, what kind of leader is going to do that and advocate for austerity or degrowth who's not a fascist authoritarian creep? Because the fascist authoritarian creeps are not going to do that. They are not. My last hope, and I don't even have that much hope, is just, you know, and it's not the cult of personality, I've talked about it before, is that, you know, I look at this presidential election and I say, oh my God, it's probably going to be this and that, and it's all the bullshit starting again. But you can do what you can do, and you can vote in the primary and vote for the person you know that's going to stop some of this shit, that at least can start making some kind of difference. So whatever happens, happens, you know? I'm not saying it. And Donald's right. Many are getting arrested. Yes, in XR they are. They're getting arrested. And even XR, you know, they are, their strategy is crazy out there. Again, I've had a little critique on, you know, disrupting the masses when you want the masses to buy in and understand instead of inconveniencing them and making them mad at you. And the kids, they're wonderful, the sunrise movement and all the kids that are out there, because they're the ones that are going to get hit with all this. I'll be dead. They won't. Angela says, as I'm not an American, I don't feel I should criticize your government or people, but we are doing a good imitation here in London. Yeah, with your lovely Boris, what's his name? Johnson. Jean says, the Extinction Rebellion's People Assembly Plan is an option. And look at what's happening in Iraq. Oh, well, that's a whole other thing, you know, because our president wants to, you know, he has a mine is bigger than yours with Obama. He'll get us out of the Iran agreement. And so they're going to enrich nuclear, you know, with the uranium. They're going to put that uranium in their, supposedly their wells, if that's accurate. I don't have anything in front of me. I did read about it. What a clusterfuck. Sorry about my language. It's just today. And I'll probably pass out after this because I'm feeling god awful. But man, today I'm just so worked up. I'm worked up. And Natural Progressive says, Kim, I agree with you. If Bernie's not the nominee, Trump will win. They will not let Bernie win. You know, I just look at it this way. We got to get out there and do whatever we can. And if I have to hobble out there with a cane and back brace and everything else I freaking need, I might have to. Carl says, blockade at Port of Vancouver today. Stop the Trans Mountain Pipeline. Yeah, man. And then we have the nice 330,000, or how many gallons leaked in North Dakota? My husband was bitching about that this morning. He is so pissed. And then he said there was another leak he read about because he went through the whole Standing Rock thing with me. We didn't go, but we wanted to go. And he's disgusted. And I don't blame him. You know, I was listening to him and oh my God. Oh, Gene, I have to read about that. The Iraqi people. I misread and said Iran. They're demanding a complete overhaul of their government. Well, of course they are because they don't want the interference anymore, I suppose. Iran is scary because of the nuclear agreement. I would like to see everyone get rid of nuclear weapons. What's his name? Gorbachev came on. Uh, there was an article. He was out there saying that it's going to end very ugly if the world does not denuclearize. That's pretty heavy. That's pretty heavy. Hey, Moose Gal. She says Bernie Sanders has a great chance to win the Midwest. I'll vote for him in Illinois. All right. All right. How are you, Zox? Warren, it's all maddening. We must bear witness and show up for this one. Whiteness or witness? Was that a Freudian slip? Oh, my goodness. Well, they are, faking the polls. I hate the polls. I don't listen to the polls. Fuck the polls. We just have to do the best we could do. Okay, John says, be the change you want to be. As Guy says, don't become attached to the outcome. I say that too. I'm not attached to the outcome because I really don't think the outcome is wonderful. But I'm attached to what happens between now and the outcome. We are alive today. There are a lot of things that make us angry, from local pipelines, but Alaska, the melting Arctic, to me, that's one of the biggest issues, is the Arctic. And then reading today about Vladimir Putin, they are really wanting to drill and take over the Arctic because they want the oil also. All the pristine lands, and nobody cares. And Donald MAGA, Moscow asset governing America. I think he's an unintended moron asset. I think that our president is such a clueless moron that he really doesn't care about money. They don't care about the Constitution, and they don't care about democracy. And I've said it. The Republican Party does not care about democracy, and they lie to you. And I'm not going to sit there and do it about the Democrats. We know who lies and we know who doesn't. Rashida Tlaib doesn't lie. Ilhan Omar doesn't lie. AOC doesn't lie. The new up-and-coming people that have to be in for our country. I mean, we really have to have a progressive agenda or we're done. And I might as well get offline for if Trump wins again. Because I honestly don't know if I can take watching the destruction that's about to befall us. And I hope that these people that are fighting in federal courts to block all this stuff, oh my God, I watch it, I mean, what do? I hardly leave the house. What do you say here? You can't collapse civilization by knitting. A lot. I mean, look, some people think we need to collapse capitalism. I've talked about that. We can't do much with the growth model. We can't keep going. Chris was talking last night about the bullshit in her state, how if it's not one thing, it's another with these developers. Either it's a housing development or it's going to be an office park or a manufacturing that's going to use the water that's existing for the people. Because development's not going to end. And Val got pissed at me also about that because he said, I said, well, of course it's got to end, but half the things I want, more of the things I want, they're not going to happen. But again, these 11,000 scientists I do have faith in. And I know that even though I read about the techno fix and I read about acceleration and I read about all that, it's going to happen anyway. It's going to happen anyway. Okay, let's see. I can't nod to that. They're extremists? All right. I don't know. I don't know if they're so extreme. I mean, it depends on what they're extreme in. I think that they want a nice, clean democracy in the United States. I don't think that they're so extreme. I don't. Oh, wow. Osama said Krish Mohan is coming to Richmond. Guess what? My daughter and I went to see Krish Mohan 2 weeks ago in Buffalo. It was wonderful. I loved it. He's a good comedian. I've been following him for a long time. I have been following him for a long time. So, guys, that's basically it for today. That we have to think about all this stuff that's going on with this. The Washington Post got it. Let's see. You know what? I could look at, what does the BBC say? Everybody has a little bit of a different take, and the BBC, it's pretty much the same. The researchers say they have a moral obligation to warn of the scale of the threat. It's regret as the U.S. begins to exit the UN. They released this on the day that satellite data shows that last month was the warmest October on record. And the new study says that simply measuring global surface temperatures is an inadequate way of capturing the real dangers of an overheating world. So the authors include a range of data. So there's a lot on this, and I'm sure other people besides me will be talking about this. Jean says, it has been as though we are fighting 12 Hitlers. The level of societal participation and sacrifice. I'm really I'm worked up today, and I'm hot, and I don't feel good, but I'm here, just so we could talk about this stuff. And I mean, I'm so damn appreciative of all of you being with me, because we're all in this together. This community is sane. We have the right agenda. I think we do. We're talking about the right things, but are the right people listening? Are we getting through? We're not extremists. We're talking about reality here. And it's okay if people disagree with me. That's what the whole thing is about as far as politically. That's okay. Because the bottom line is, we know that politically everything's fucked anyway. I'm not a clean channel today. Let's see, what are you guys talking about? What is Bio saying? Moose Cow, I'm serious, Moose Cow, you should pay more attention to things they say and do. Okay, I think what's going on here is we get a little paranoid, or hey, get mad at me, but we buy into some of I'm on YouTube here, I'm on Facebook talking, people could say I'm fake news or full of shit, but I'm not a conspiracy. Nothing I talk about is not happening. Some of us we're hurt. There's a lot of hurt out there from the 2016 election in the United States. But we can't let that hurt overshadow activism and trying. I know it's hard. I really know it's hard. Let me see, Warren, what do you say? You say degrowth, lock them up, regreening of nature, get nukes off the planet Earth to ensure some future for some future life forms. Yeah, but I just want to go down. If we go down with the ship, it would just be so nice to go down on the progressive ship. I say that all the time. I mean, I have my feet in these two different worlds, but these two different worlds converge. They absolutely converge. And I listen to a myriad of different people. I listen to a myriad of different people, and even the people I don't agree with. And I had to listen to mainstream media today, as much as I listened to Ali Belshi, and I wanted to puke when I couldn't hear what I wanted to hear about this report. We got somebody else here. Hi, Ravenhill the Myth, 1968. Aw, God bless. Thank you for the broadcast. I hope you see this post. Thank you for being here. I'm here. And I love you all. And I've been on for 30 minutes, and that's about my, it's really about my limit. Okay. It was a good talk. Does anybody want to bring up something that I can put on the screen before I bid you adieu for the day and go pass out? And tonight, I think, who's on tonight? Let the Madness Begin. They're on Tuesday, right, Moose Gal? Oh, I'm not going to get into this. I see what's going on. I need a moose on my channel. Well, Moose Gal, perhaps you'll want to come in with me sometime. Write to me at the email, same address, Gmail, Environmental Coffee House, Gmail. Not a business. This is my hobby. And you see the picture behind me? That's about as many people that I don't have in my life, really. As pathetic as that is. Daryl talks about New Zealand. Hi, Daryl. It looks like the two most popular options for President, Sanders and Trump, are popular because they are not so controlled by your main political parties, which no longer represent the people. Yeah, and you're from New Zealand, so, but everybody's watching the United States. Everybody's watching the buffoonery going on in the United States. Everybody's looking at the deterioration of the morality of the United States, the deterioration, the mob in chief, Rudolph Giuliani. Everybody's looking at all of this. Well, hi, Lex. I love you all. So if you can share it, share it. Because we got to get the word out. And we got to do everything we can. And let me tell you something. Anything that comes up in North Dakota to help those indigenous people, to help them clean up, or if there's donations needed or something, I'm going to find it. The oil company's not doing it fast enough because they couldn't give a shit less about maintenance because they need to pay their profit, their shareholders, and their CEOs the money that should be in there for maintenance. My husband could not understand in this day and age how that fucking pipeline could leak. I am so sorry. The F word is my mind today. How could it leak? All that land, all that pristine water. We fought for Standing Rock for a reason. And I was a keyboard warrior. My heart goes out to those people. Damn it. Damn it. Yes. Yes, my friend, hello. She says the fall of an empire. It's what I'm seeing. I'm feeling on this election day when I did vote for my local, because we have a kid running here for state senate. He's just out of college. He's fresh. He's young. He knows the community. And the other guy, he's the other one I talked about in my last live stream before this about the moron that was walking around town, the bigot. I wouldn't vote for that asshole if somebody gave me $1 million. Money doesn't compromise me. I have none. All right, guys. I love you all. Yeah, Zox, you're right. Neoliberal's the same around the world. It's because it's an infection that has gone around the world. The free market neoliberal mantra, it's an infection, it's a sickness. Goodbye, guys. I know we've got 40 people. Thank you for all coming. Peace. Share. I'm so glad you were here. I feel so much better, but we got work to do. And I have to make myself feel better. Peace, guys.